Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. Fire restrictions are now in place at Mojave National Preserve and Castle Mountains National Monument. Due to increased fire danger, Mojave National Preserve and Castle Mountains National Monument are now under fire prevention orders to reduce the potential for wildfires to ignite and spread. The restrictions went into effect on July 3rd and prohibit the building, maintaining, attending, or using a fire or campfire with any wood or charcoal burning device. Additional restrictions focus on smoking, welding, flares, and fireworks. Violations of these fire prevention orders can lead to fines of $5,000 and possibly jail time. For a full list of restrictions, you can see this story at Z107.7fm.com. The city of 29 Palms has announced that the city council will go dark in July, beginning with the cancellation of what would have been today's regularly scheduled meeting. The 29 Palms City Council is scheduled to meet next in regular session on August 12th. The Yucca Valley Planning Commission will review proposals for several new developments within the town at tonight's meeting. Here's reporter Adeline J. Wells with more from their agenda.
Tonight's meeting of the Yucca Valley Planning Commission will begin with a public hearing concerning the Senior Mobile Home Park Overlay District. The proposed legislation would extend the current moratorium on converting seniors-only parks to all ages by creating a permanent overlay district for the 4 Yucca Valley parks that currently have 80% of units with at least one resident over the age of 55. The Commission considered the item at their meeting on June 10th, when it was continued with the direction for staff to further research age restrictions. The Planning Commission will then hold another public hearing regarding a conditional use permit for Joshua Springs Calvary Chapel to add a 9,720 square foot gymnasium and additional parking to their facility. Town staff recommends that the Commission approve the addition. They will then consider a temporary special event permit for residents at 58689 Ocotillo Drive. The proposed permit would allow the applicant to operate residential special events, such as weddings and parties, with a maximum of 44 guests per event and 39 events per year. Lastly, the Commission will receive the Land Development Update. Tonight's meeting is open to the public and begins at 6 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Adeline J. Wells.
The Bighorn Desert View Water Agency's monthly meeting happens today at 6 p.m. Then tomorrow, there will be a special meeting during which the Board of Directors will select a new board member. Here's Annalise Kuiper with the details.
100 water accounts are seriously delinquent by at least $300, while the total amount owed is $57,591.53. Each delinquent property owner was mailed a final notice, and a public notice was published in the High Desert Star. The board will consider approving the resolution authorizing the placement of property liens on the secured tax rolls of San Bernardino County for collection of delinquencies within Bighorn Desert View Water Agency. Under public hearings, the board will consider an assessment establishing standby and availability fees for water service within Bighorn Desert View Water Agency Improvement District Goat Mountain for tax year 2026. The next day, on July 9th, 2025, at 6 p.m., the Board of Directors will complete a selection process and appoint a new board member to fill the current vacancy. The board will conduct interviews, and the candidate who receives a majority of 3 votes will be appointed. Subsequently, the candidate will be sworn in and officially seated as a board member. Located at the board meeting office, 1720 North Cherokee Trail in Landers, both meetings will begin at 6 p.m. The public is encouraged to attend. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own home? How about building your own home in 29 Palms? This weekend, those dreams might get closer to reality at an informational event held in 29 Palms. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
On Saturday, July 12th, the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition is partnering with the City of 29 Palms to host an informational session about a self-help housing program that would enable qualified residents to build and own their own home. The program, which has been going for 30 years, allows 10 families to form an informal association to help build 10 houses under the direction of a construction supervisor. Participants must commit to 40 hours a week of construction work, and this would include the applicant, a co-applicant, and any approved helpers. Councilmember Octavius Scott initially introduced the program to the city as he himself grew up in one of these self-built homes in Palm Springs.
My mom was part of a batch of homes that were built in Palm Springs. She helped to build the house. And so I saw the benefit in it. A lot of the people that I grew up with, we all still own those homes. It's still in our families. I think it's good. It's generational wealth. It's not an easy program. It's not easy to work 40 hours a week. But for those that are able to do it and they want to do it, it's going to be good for our community. And when these people build their own homes, they have pride in community. They have pride in their home. They're more likely to take care of that property because they built that property. And so I think that that's the type of spirit that 29 Palms residents respect. And I think that people in 29 Palms would totally jump on a program like this.
For this event, only residents of 29 Palms are eligible and should expect to provide their annual income. Attendees should bring a copy of a recent credit check if possible, though not required. Qualifying income levels for this program fall roughly between $30,000 and $90,000 annually, and the mortgage would be based on the applicant's income. The event will take place on Saturday, July 12th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Recreation Center at 74362 Joe Davis Drive, across from Lucky Park. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
And finally, the City of 29 Palms has announced that this year's Pioneer Days event will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps. Pioneer Days is the annual citywide autumn celebration, now in its 89th year. On Monday, city officials announced the theme for the 2025 celebration as Semper Fi 29, celebrating 250 years of the United States Marine Corps. The Pioneer Days celebration kicks off on October 16th and will feature a parade, the outhouse races, and more. You can take a look at the early schedule at 29palms.org. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.